Hi guys, it's Colette, and today we're going to be giving the Hansen Salon Chrome Kit a second chance. After the rose gold was kind of disappointing, today we're going to be using the gunmetal. If you like nail art, be sure you're subscribed to my channel, My Simple Little Pleasures. And if you'd like to see how I did this, just stay tuned. Starting out with clean, dry nails, I'm going to apply my base coat. I'm using Ready for Takeoff, which is a peel-off base, and you can use whichever is your personal favorite. If you saw last week's video, you know that I had a rather difficult time of it with the Hansen Salon Chrome in the rose gold. This week, I'm going to be giving the gunmetal a try. And just like the other one, inside we have a sponge applicator and the special effect top coat and the powder. And I've had a lot of people tell me that the special effects top coat looks pretty much to be a water-based top coat. So I guess even if these, are not the greatest, if you're looking for a water-based top coat, this is one of the only ones I've had in stores. This is now like the only one that I own. And just to review again the steps, step 1 is to apply 2 thin coats of the Miracle Gel in Blacky O for this one, which is not included. I do have that color. Allowed to dry until tacky 2 to 3 minutes. Step 2 is to use the applicator with the chrome powder and rub into the nail. Now, one of the problems I ran into last time is that it's hard to maintain a really light, even pressure enough not to dent the polish. So, I mean, inside this applicator, there's, a plastic handle. If you poke it, the whole end isn't sponge. So, to combat that problem, I'm going to be using a makeup sponge, and I'm going to cut it down a little bit. Going to cut it about in half, and the section that we have remaining is about nail width, and it's also of a decent size to dip into the jar. A lot of people have also suggested dipping your finger into the jar, but because these aren't usually very full, well, this one's a little uneven, but if I tap that level, with my nails reaching in there without getting a bunch, all under my nail would be a little bit of a problem. So I'm going to see how this piece of sponge works. But first, I'm going to do my 2 coats of black. And this time I think I'm going to wait a little bit longer, closer to like 4 or 5 minutes than 2 or 3 minutes. And hopefully that will also help with the denting problem that I was having. Alrighty, it's been about 5 minutes. We've got our powder, we've got our makeup sponge, which just barely, actually that's kind of a tighter fit than I wanted. Let me just snip off a little corner of this. Just a little bit. Alright, that's a little easier now. So what I'm going to start out doing is, as you saw, dip the sponge in there and then kind of dab on and try to get really good coverage and then buff a little. And this is a lot better than the pink. It's still maybe not quite as mirrory. I'm having trouble saying that word, you guys. I'm sorry. I think you know what I mean. As shiny, reflective as gel chrome, but just overall, in comparison to the pink, this is going a lot better. And as far as application, I feel like this sponge is working a ton better than the makeup applicator. So yeah, I'm going to continue on with the rest of my nails and then move on to step 3. So, I think you guys will agree that this is progress. Not perfection, particularly on that index finger, but definitely progress. Dabbing the powder on with the sponge worked a lot better, but as you saw, that chrome effect really came out when I buffed it in a little bit more with a clean sponge. And on my right hand, I actually dabbed the powder on all the nails first, and then came back with the clean sponge to buff it a little more, which gave them a little bit more time to dry. Unlike, as you can see on my left hand, even with the makeup sponge, I have a little bit of a smear here, a little bit there, and most noticeably on my index finger, which I don't think I can save. So what I'm actually going to do before I move on to the special effect top coat is I'm going to start over on this nail because I don't want to wear it like that. It would ruin my whole feeling for my manicure. And gosh, this is not coming up. Usually with the peel off base coat, even taking off a wet polish should peel off, but this is really not doing too great. So I'm gonna have to hit this up with some polish remover, but I'm just gonna redo the steps on this one nail. Okay, let's see if we can put everything we learned into practice here for this index finger. Like I said, taking the messed up part off, put on some new polish. Let's dab with a light stroking motion. And then buff in a little bit more with a clean sponge. Yeah, now instead of being the worst nail, it's the best nail. Let me grab my usual soft brush to help clean up this powder around the edges. Just going to lightly brush it off and try and get in those little cuticle corners. And I think part of my problem last time with the special effect top coat, not that it really did much last time, was that I was having issues with the brush and also issues with the consistency because I wasn't really familiar with it. And I've got just like a little bit left in here. I'm just gonna go in with a slightly smaller brush. It's just kind of nitpicky because really, once you're all done with top coat, you can go wash your hands anyway, and as long as you haven't like completely sealed it in with top coat, which I'll admit I do have a problem with, you'll be able to wash it off. But anyway, this has such a runny consistency, which makes sense now that I know it's a water-based top coat. I'm really going to try and use as little as I possibly can. Like really wiping off the brush so that there's barely any on there. And last time I felt like it was kind of an extra step, but since we did actually get a chrome finish out of this, I think it's worth doing. As a test, I am going to leave my right thumb with no special effect top coat, and we'll just see how Seche Vite affects it. Step 4, according to the instructions, would be to finish with the Miracle Gel Topcoat, which, if you get this kit, is also not included. But that's not happening because last time when I used this, my manicure was still getting dents hours after I was done. I really don't know why non-quick dry top coats even exist anymore. So this time we're going to use good old Seche Vite. So here's the finished manicure, and all things considered, I'm really happy with how this turned out. I did get a little bit overconfident, and I got a little nick that's reminding me that even Seche Vite does not dry instantaneously. But especially in comparison to last week, I think this turned out really well. And just to give you guys one more comparison with the box, obviously it's quite a bit darker on my nails, but I would call this gunmetal, whereas the rose gold I would not call rose gold. As far as what the top coat goes, I do feel like the Seche Vite dulled the mirror finish just a little bit. I actually even, on my right pinky here, tried with my gel top coat to see if that would make a difference, and it really didn't. Maybe if I did the gel with no special effect top coat, it would make a difference. But what really made a difference is the thumb that had the special effect top coat versus the thumb that did not. You can see that the thumb where I just applied Seche Vite directly on top of the powder really lost all of the chrome. I mean, it's still shiny, it's still metallic, but it's not so reflective anymore. So overall, I feel like I learned a lot this time and last time, and hopefully I can put that all together when I eventually use the third color that I got. My third color is the Peacock. I'm not sure if I'll kind of stick with this process or do any more experimentation. I had some people that suggested applying the powder over the special effect top coat, or doing 2 layers of the powder, or people that just wanted to see it with the usual gel process. And I really haven't decided yet which direction I'm going to go. Just to give you guys a glimpse, here's the Peacock, but I'm a little nervous of whether it'll actually turn out looking like that. So time will tell with that. Stay tuned if you'd like to see, because I will try and definitely record that process as well. If you had decided not to buy this kit after seeing the rose gold, I still don't know if I would endorse that color, particularly with the base color that Sally recommends. But the chrome, I think, may be worth a purchase, worth a second look and a second consideration, because I'm pretty pleased with this, and I feel like with a little bit of practice, I can get even better application. So I hope this was informative for you guys. I hope you enjoyed it as always. And also, as always, thanks for watching.